Hi guys, and welcome to my O-gauge workbench. This is all I have now, as I've now sold up a Wilmington and it has gone to its new home in town. So it's freed up a bit of space, although I've still got lots of boxes of double O-gauge stuff to get rid of. But what this has allowed me to do is free me up to do some actual modelling. And in the last week I've weathered these two open wagons, applied some weathering to the gov and applied the plates and transfers to the O-gauge 33 there. So what we'll do is we'll have a closer look at some of these things that I've been up to this week. Okay, first thing we're going to look at is my Heljan OAA open wagon, which they bought out, which was part of the air brake network fleet, but as far as I'm concerned it's now been stripped down from main line running and sort of used as part of the departmental fleet for a ballast works at weekends with things like pandroll clips, concrete troughing, terram and all that sort of stuff put in it and taken to the ballast site and positions at the weekends. So considering Hither Green had a PAD, which is a pre-assembly depot adjacent to the depot itself, they would have frequented Hither Green a lot, so it's quite fitting for the layout that I'm going to be building. Weathering I'd achieved last week. Well, I'm quite happy with how it's come out. A lot of the things that does pick up nicely when you weather it is the detail on the brake disc, which you can't really see, and that was achieved with a dark wash just running off the paintbrush, and when it was nearly dry, wipe round on a cotton bud on the actual brake disc surface, and that leaves all the dirt in the gaps in the brake disc and the bolt holes that hold it to the brake, to the wheel itself, and picks that detail out quite nicely. As for the body side, I've just done a dry brush with white just to tone the paint down before again filling in all of the detail with a dark wash of brown, and just run it into all the gaps and just let it flow due to capillary action. No point in going mad. And then a gentle spray over with just some rail match frame dirt just to blend it all in, and that's the result I've come up with. Now I'm happy with that. I'm not going to worry about going around picking up too much more because it looks good. I'm happy with the effect. And on the ends we got grease on the buffers and just general dirt, and again a wash just picks out all the rivets and the strips and things, just to highlight things, and it makes it pop a bit more than it did before, shows the detail that wasn't really that visible. Although what I have lost is a couple of the tied down brackets. They just fly off somewhere, and handling some of the bits feel quite delicate to the touch. For a wagon of this size, it's quite delicate. And inside I've sprayed it a slightly silvery finish. Old oak wood tends to go a silvery grey colour rather than a brown, which some people find as the colour of their choice to paint inside of wagons, but I prefer slightly silvery. I've not picked out individual planks or replaced them on this wagon. I've just kept it as is, and I've done the same on the squid, exactly the same effect and the same weathering, done it to the same levels, and removed the main res pipe off the end because by my era of the layout it's all single piped, so no dual piping, no dual brake or anything like that on these wagons. But some of the details on these is quite delicate. This handbrake handle is hanging off, I'm going to have to glue that back on. Just noticed that. But yeah, quite delicate, but nicely detailed. Okay, the next thing I've been up to whilst weathering those wagons is my gov wagon. As with all my modern image stuff, it's Heljan. The roof basically got a respray with rail match roof dirt and then a slight dusting over with some matte black just to soot it up a bit. The underframe got a liberal coating of frame dirt going rail match paints, which I could get before they sort of made it awkward to buy and ship to Australia. The handbrake wheel, I just, after spraying it, get a bit of thinners on a cotton bud and just give it a gentle wipe. I don't want to take all the dirt off, but these things get painted on exams and people's hands running over it when they apply the handbrakes, so they sort of not clean, but generally retain their whiteness. One thing that is now on order is, before I do more weathering on this, is some numbers which I've ordered from Steve Bell of Railtech Transfers, and then that should allow me then to do a bit of varnish on this, and then on the bogies pick out some details with a bit of rusty coloured paint and some black around the actual boxes where they get oiled. But that's that one. Right, what I have spent most of the week on is my Class 33. Let's just take the body shell off and bring that over. Here we go. 33050 Isle of Grain. Hither Green logo. So we've got the nice Post House shed plates on this end of the logo. TML badge, Trans-Manche Link, for when it was used for construction traffic for the Channel Tunnel. On the front, there has been lots of discussion. Surprising how much discussion this makes. These blue stars. The coupling code for the Class 33 is blue stars, along with 31s, 37s and a few other bits and pieces. But generally the Southern had small, skinny, pointy little stars, and were generally fitted outside the light out here. But 33050 had an accident, and it got a slightly bent number 1 end cab, being this end here. And after a short while it was actually sent off to Stratford and had cab repairs done, and Stratford repainted it. Now Stratford fitted fat stars in this position on both ends when they repainted it. It retained its 73A shed plates, but what is missing off of this cab on number 1 end are the 4 bolts either side. If I turn it round to number 2 end, which still had its original cab front. I don't know if you can pick it up there. Oh, hooked up on the way. We get the light in the right spot there. There it is. You can see the bolts on the cab front, which you obviously lost on the other end. But yeah, it's the transfers themselves are Fox transfers. You have a white panel to put on first before you put this on to help the colours pop out, otherwise they tend to be a bit washy. And the etched plates I've fixed with varnish. The reason for doing this is, before you put the transfers on, you put a nice gloss varnish coating over. It's just a fine misting, just to give a smooth surface. And then if you fit the plates with varnish as well, it doesn't actually show like a blob of super glue. If it leaks out the side, it doesn't show as much as super glue does if you get a little bit outside, and it's easier to clean off. It takes a while to dry, but it's the cleaning is the issue if you get any overspill. So once this is nicely done and cured, I shall just clean these plates off, because there's a bit of varnish on the outside of those, and then I shall give it a overspray of the whole shell again over the transfers and over the plates, and any marks in the varnish that has come out from when I've applied them should all disappear nicely, and then it'll be ready for weathering. And then on the chassis I can get on with fitting the detailing parts that I bought from Just Like the Real Thing before they closed, and improve the detailing effects on the chassis. But I'm just concentrating on the body shell, finish that job before I do the next one, otherwise I'm going to get out of place and I'll start to lose bits and pieces. But hey guys, that's where I've got to. Any questions or anything else like that, I'm happy to discuss weathering techniques and things. Just leave a comment in the comment section and subscribe if you want to. I'll catch you later. Oh, I nearly forgot. Do you remember my Class 45 video that I done a few weeks back with issues with the bogies and bits that got broken during shipping from the UK to Australia? Well, I've been in discussion with Tower Models and this is the result. They have sent me a bogie. This will allow me to take the gears that I want off of it, and it'll also give me a few spares, so I'm happy with that. Because it was the gear in the back here was the wrong gear on the bogie that I have. So yeah, obviously this is another one that got broke during shipping because the whole front buffer beam, the buffer's bent, this side snapped off, there was a few bits of pieces lying around in the bottom. So it's not just me, there's lots out there that are getting broken. Hopefully Heljan will have a rethink, but from the feedback I got on their Facebook page when I put my comments on there about the damage occurring in the post, they said, oh, it's not very many. Tower Models, it's all Tower Models, but Tower Models in my eye have done a good job. They've sent me replacement parts without any aggravation at all, and that's all I can ask for. So thumbs up for Tower Models, thank you very much.